Thank you to everybody for your love and support. Thank you for everyone that's watching these podcasts, that's sharing, that's liking, and just sharing and spreading the love. I thank you so much for that. And today I have another wonderful, special guest. Guys, I am very ecstatic to announce the wonderful Anthony Johnson.
Hi, my name is TJ Johnson, and I am from Cleveland, Ohio. I think what made me fall in love with acting. Um, I think I secretly grew up loving it. I've always loved impersonating people. I've always loved um, reciting back things that I would hear on television or a movie or something like that. But I think the moment that I realized that I fell in love with it, I think I was in college. I'm sorry, I know I was in college. I was doing my freshman year of college. Um, so funny story. I never actually even told anyone like how I even transitioned or whatever, because I come from a background of athletics. I play football. So um, when I was in college, I'm okay. So when I was in college, we have this thing where where we go for the summertime. We have summer one where you go to summer school for 6 weeks, and then summer two you go to school for 6 weeks as well, and then after that you we start fall camp for football. So during summer one, I didn't do that well in the class or whatever. I didn't get like a D or F. I think I got like a C, but in another class I got an A. My coach, like he kind of, now I don't want to say he wasn't too happy about it, but he just kind of wanted to get my GPA a little higher than it was. So, what he did was he got me into a class that he thought would be an easy A, and that class happened to be an acting class. So within that acting class, I kind of just, I kind of went into it like, I'm about to just go. All I got to do is show up, and it just is what it is, and I just go about my day. So, I went. I loved it, but I didn't change my major yet because at the time I still wanted to be a broadcast journalist. I wanted to anchor football games, basketball games, or whatever. But didn't immediately change my major yet. Still stuck with that. Um, I left my original school, which was Penn State at the time, and I transferred to Cincinnati. So kind of the same scenario happened to where I didn't do that well in the speech class, and within that speech class, it kind of, I think, endangered my major, and I'm sorry, it endangered my GPA, and so my counselor at the time suggested that what if I change my major to something similar? So I said, actually, no, I don't want to. I'm gonna change it to theatrical arts, digital design. Uh, I'm a double major. So he was for it, and just from there, I loved it. Like I was around it every day. That's all I thought about. That's all I wanted to do, you know, while I was still playing football or whatever. Obviously, outside of football, that's all I wanted to do. That's all I thought about. So it just kind of worked out that way. I think the hardest part so far about the career is just having patience and having patience with any and everything. Like that goes into everything. Having patience and just knowing that your time will come and what's for you is really for you. People say that saying, but I don't think people really actually wholeheartedly believe it. But you really have to like wholeheartedly buy into that with acting because acting is like one of those 1% careers. It's been so many times where we've seen like actors or actresses, um, and they didn't get the part. Something happened, and they called them back like, hey, such and such happened, and we want you to come back, and we want you to re-audition, or matter of fact, or we thought we wanted them, but we want to just see you one more time, like what I'm saying, and they end up getting a part. And these are some of the most classic films or classic TV shows. Um, so you just really gotta be patient. You gotta be prayed up. Whoever whatever your religious beliefs are, and you just gotta know that whatever's for you is for you, and it'll happen. You know, I played football for 21 years. I've been acting since 2022, going on 2 years this upcoming November, December. So I couldn't nearly even compare like the the two entities together, because one's a vast difference between the other. So you just gotta stay patient. And it'll come together. I think for me, my proudest moment in life so far is having my daughter. I have my daughter at 23 years old, um, and she is such a light in my life. Like, she is so um, she's spunky. She has my personality, my outgoing personality, uh, dancing, goofy. Like, it's it's literally like a remake of me. I hear it all the time. But she also has her mom's like girly girl like aura about herself. So I think I would say that would be my proudest moment, the day that she was born. Like, it really changed me. Not only as a man, but it changed me as a person. Like, it opened my eyes to new things. It just made me act different, carry myself different, made me look at things differently, made me stop doing certain things, and it really grew me up. They say becoming a parent, it definitely grows you up, and it does it immediately too. A lot of people, when they say, "Oh, I'm scared to have a child young or at a younger age," "Oh, I wouldn't know what to do," or whatever. Yes, you would. Like, it's like it it's like that. Like, it literally happens just like that. You'll be okay. Um, I think some advice that I will probably give new actors is network. Keep networking, bro. Do not stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. And that goes for any and everything and everybody. Like, don't stop, because this game, this it's all about who you know. Point blank period. It's all about who you know. I know some people have agents, some people don't. I have an agency, um, and sometimes you can get picked on just who your agent knows or who your agent is, or I would say, like I said earlier, be patient, man. Just, you can act until the day you die. Like, this is not like something where you have a timeline or you have a time clock. And also, while I'm telling y'all this, I'm telling myself this as well too, because I have to remind myself of this. Like, because we human. Like, I'm saying be patient, but we also human at the same time, to where we get impatient. We like, man, why I ain't get picked, man? I know I nailed that. I know I did a good job. I know and it just wasn't for you. So you just, like, you really have to be patient, and just know that what's for you is really going to be for you. One thing about God, he's not going to let something that's for you not be for you. If he wanted to happen, he's going to make it happen. I will also say, stay sharp on your skills, man. Like, have a coach. Go, like, stay in classes, man. Some of the best actors still have coaches. Some of the best actors still have classes that they attend, like, all the time. Like, just stay sharp, man. Stay sharp. You gotta stay sharp, because different roles calls for different things, to bring out new things and stuff like that. So you you gotta stay sharp on your skills. So I would definitely say those things. For me, I would say, like, my biggest inspiration, I would say my older brother. My older brother, we're 9 years apart, but we grew up together. Like, literally, like, we shared a room until he was a freshman in college. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, we did everything together. Like, wherever he went, I went. If he was somewhere, he took me with him. You know what I'm saying? And this is how he was. And I think that's why we so close now. We talk every day. He played football, so I wanted to play football. You know what I'm saying? So he went to college, so I wanted to go to college, and I know, and I think also too with that, he did really well in school. I was the opposite. Like I didn't start doing well in school. I don't think until maybe high school, you know, and I was always like jealous of that, but not a jealous of envy, but a jealous of like, oh, I need to get on my grind. I need to do the same thing because I want to make my mom proud. I want to go to college. I want to go on a full ride. I want to go to the NFL and those things like that. So in order to do those things, I kind of needed to get on track, and I kind of needed to do the things that he was doing because that was going to get me there. And the things that I don't want to say the things that I was doing at the time wouldn't have, but he was just on a better trajectory. So I would definitely say like he's my biggest inspiration in my life, and I talk about that a lot. So and also describe yourself in 3 words. I would say 3 words: competitive. Competitive as hell. Competitive as hell. Like we can be playing Uno, we can be playing basketball 1-on-1. Like I don't care what it is. We could be saying who gonna tie their shoes the fastest, and I'm gonna tie my shoe better and faster than you. And if I don't win, we gotta do it again. If I don't win that time, we gonna have to do it again. Like I do not like losing. I don't like losing. I'm not a loser. I can't. It's something about winning that's just so contagious. Like it's contagious. It's contagious. I love winning. I would say joyful. I'm mainly always smiling and always upbeat. I'm never really down too much, especially since I've became more spiritually inclined. I'm not really ever too down too long. Like I said, we are still human, so we have those human moments to where we just, man, why ain't nothing going right and yada yada yada. But for the most part, I'm pretty joyful. Third word, I would probably have to say ambitious. Definitely ambitious. I shoot past the sky, shoot past the stars, shoot past the moon because everything is obtainable. I've never been a person to where someone I'll let someone be like, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that, or whatever, or what if this don't work? Then what you gonna do? And yada yada. Like it in my mind, like you really have to, you really got to psych yourself out. You really have to psych yourself out and say like, man, they said I couldn't do it. They said I ain't gonna do it or whatever. So it makes me go 100 times even harder because who are you to tell me that I can't do something? Like, are you God? Like, who are you to tell me that I can't do something? So I take that kind of stuff like personal, and I play those mind games with myself because it drives me, it pushes me, and also at the same time, I know there's people out there that really believe, oh man, he shouldn't do that. He should go work in a cubicle, or he should go do X, Y, Z. Those aren't my dreams. Those aren't my aspirations. So that's what you want to do. The one thing I learned about people will often project themselves on you. So, because they feel like they can obtain it, or they feel like they can't do it, or whatever, they'll say something like that about you, or you should go do X, Y, Z or whatever. Nah, I'm not. I'm sorry, but that's not what my heart is. Whatever. I'm going to follow my heart. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously, God put it on my heart for a reason. So I would say those 3 words really describe who I am. My family, like my family love, what I'm pursuing. They love what I'm pursuing. Like they support it 110%. They all for it. They all for it. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Because honestly, it wasn't a surprise to them. Like they knew like just by my personality. A lot of people used to tell me all the time. Even when I was playing football or whatever. Like they would just be oh man, you'll be such a good actor, you'll be this and that or whatever. Like you got the face, you got the body type, you can model, you can do X, Y, Z or whatever, but your personality, it just brings so much life to people. Like your aura when you walk in a room, it's like you control the room. I've heard it like all my life. Like not to sound conceited or whatever, but I've heard it all my life. And I think now I think in the past I've always said like, nah, man, y'all tripping, man. Like y'all, nah, it's no way I can do that, because I looked at myself as strictly just a football player. I wanted to go to the NFL. I played collegiately and professionally for a little while or whatever. So I just looked at myself just as an athlete. So I'm just like, I can't do that or whatever. But I was wrong, so but yeah, my family, they supported. They supported, and it's funny because they always ask me, would you do steamy scenes or stuff like that or whatever? And I always say like I would if it supports the vision of the show or the movie or whatever it is. Like if it has to go in the storyline, I would do it. Right? But if it doesn't, is it necessary? Like, is it really necessary? So I would say I would do it if it supports the, and if the money is right as well too. And also too, my partner, she has to be okay with that as well too. I don't want to just, blindside somebody with that, because it's not cool. You know what I'm saying? You be at a premiere or whatever, something like that, and then all of a sudden she see you on camera or whatever on screen in front of everybody having the sex scene, and she's totally blindsided or whatever. So I wouldn't do something like that or whatever. So those things, like the money has to be right, the storyline has to at least go with it. I don't just want to just do something like that because like I'm okay with nudity, but in a sense I'm not as well. So I can do it, but it just has to be like those three things. Like my partner has to be okay with it. She has to be okay with it. The money has to be right, and also the storyline has to at least go with it. So I would definitely, yeah, I would do it. If I had to choose between like a body double or intimate scene, I would say a body double, because body doubles, or stunt doubles, I should say, it's always like an action scene, or most likely it's like an action scene. Like I wanna do scenes like that. I wanna do like, so I heard that Jackie Chan, he did his own scenes, his own you know action scenes or whatever, and that's something that I want to do. That's something that I want to do. Like I don't even want somebody trying to fill in for me or whatever. But if I had to fill in for someone else, I definitely would do that. I definitely would do that. So, um, name your top five actors. Well, one, obviously Denzel. Denzel, he's so brilliant, brilliant. It's brilliant, brilliant. Um, Two, Angela Bassett is brilliant, brilliant. Viola, brilliant, brilliant. Oh my goodness. Um, who else? Samuel Jackson, amazing, amazing. Samuel Jackson. Morgan Freeman. Who else? Will Smith. I'm sorry, that's six. It's just so many. It's so many. But Denzel, he's the Leonardo DiCaprio. It's so many, and I don't even want to say like these are ranks, because they are brilliant and they are right. They are good and they are right. Especially Viola and Denzel. I try to study all of these actors. I try to study all of these actors because they all bring something different, and you try to see like what makes them them, like what makes them so natural, but also bring, you know, that character to life, because that's the, you know, that's the beauty in acting, right? You know, you taking a fake entity and bringing it to real life. Like, you, a lot of people think acting is fake, right? But in reality it's not. You're taking uh who you are, and you're taking a character, and you're trying to bring it to life and merge them into one. So in reality it's not fake. It's not, because the camera knows when you're lying. The camera knows when you're bad. The camera knows when you're good. Like, I've had auditions to where I'm like, I know I bombed it. I know like that audition was bad. Like, I just know it. But also I've showed someone, they be like, oh man, no, that was good. That was I'm telling you, like, that was wonderful. I've had auditions where I'm like, man, I know I killed it. I know I killed it. And, you know, I showed someone, they said, no, that's bad. And I've had times to where we both agreed on different spectrums. Like, we both agreed that it was bad, we both agreed that it was good. And, you know, I didn't get it. Or sometimes I did get it, you know. So, um, you know, just like I said earlier, just having those tools. That's why I study. That's why I study and stay in classes or whatever. That's another piece of advice I would give you too. Just, you know, watch people, study what they do. I'm not saying copy. I'm saying study. Like, I'm saying, you know, how do, and what I mean by study is when someone else is talking, what do they do with their body? How do they relax their body? What do they do with their face, or what do they do with their hands, or what do they do with their you know, their eyebrows, or do they rate, like, you know, stuff like that, and how certain things are said. Study, but also when it's your turn, you want it to be natural. You don't want it to come across as, yeah, I'm stealing something that Daniel Ezra did or something like that. So study, but also make it natural when you do it as well too. So yeah. Also, I would say my biggest embarrassing moment or experience so far is I remember when I want to say I was a freshman in college or a sophomore in college, one of the two. I was auditioned for a play, and I'm not sure if the girl was a part of the play, or she's a part of the production team or something like that or whatever, because I didn't actually end up getting a role. They chose a more experienced actor at that time, but I couldn't get a line, man. Like, I just couldn't get a line. I felt so embarrassed. Like, I couldn't, like, because it was a musical. It was a musical, and it was like a Greek type of it was like a Hamlet kind of thing or whatever, and some of the language, like, I just couldn't get it or whatever. So me being so frustrated with myself with not being able to, you know, get it, I like almost fell off stage because I'm so mad at myself. I'm pacing around the back like the back stage area or whatever, and I'm like pacing around, and it's like a bunch of people around, and I'm just so frustrated at myself because I know I'm doing terrible, because I couldn't get this line. Like, I couldn't say the words. I just couldn't pronunciate it. And I just, like, almost fell off stage, and I'm just like, man, yeah, let me get out of here. I think so. Thus far, that's probably like my most embarrassing, like, moment, I would say. One thing I would say that I knew before I started acting is, I would say that I wish I knew how long, or not how long it would take, but how patient you had to be. Because I guess I knew it, you know, stuff wouldn't happen overnight, but I it's just certain stuff that happens, like, within the game, that people, I don't think people even, like, realize who's not a part of, like, the industry. Like, for example, I'll give you an example. Um, when I started acting, like, I just started putting myself out there. Like, I just started because I transitioned from, you know, in the field to um, to this game. So what I started doing was searching stuff on the internet, searching stuff on Instagram, searching stuff through whatever, just trying to find like background acting jobs, or just trying to find, uh, just whatever, just try to get my feet wet, get my face seen or whatever. And I've been on numerous of things, stuff that are out, that is out now, and stuff that is coming out. So I would say how long, stuff would take. I didn't really realize, like, for example, I started getting background actor jobs or whatever. And also I would say this, to actually scratch that, I would say how big of haters people can be. I would say that that's what I knew. That's what I wish I knew. Because I give you an example. So that was my first quote unquote like job. I was on the set of what is that show called? What is that show called? I forget the name of the show. It might come back to me, whatever. I forget the name of the show. But I was on the set of the show, and I was explaining, I was talking to the background actors, and I was explaining to them like, oh, I want to do this for real, yada yada yada. So everybody was like, yeah, man, you should, or whatever, like, go for it, throttle, shoot for the stars, that type of attitude, right? It was this one guy in there. He was like, tuh, yeah, good luck, man, because I've been doing this for such and such, and I've been doing this for such and such long, and it just, it just haven't worked out. But good luck to you though, man, because I don't know if it's ever going to pan out, And it's just like, people really have those kind of attitudes, and it's like that stuff like that. Like, you just kind of got to ignore it. So I guess I wish I knew that, per se, but in a sense, I don't know why I didn't think that kind of stuff was going to happen, So I would say I wish I knew that. I would say my goals, like, I want to, like unimaginable. I want to be on that. I want to be on that Denzel level. I want to be past that level. Like that's where I see myself. I see myself on that Will Smith trajectory, like that. Like, I'm talking about that, past that 1%, because it's the 1% makes it. The 1%, is in active stuff, like, main characters and stuff like that or whatever. But past that 1%, that 0.5%, that's that Denzel, that's that Viola, that's that, as Angela Bassett, that's that, stuff, people that are in major stuff, people that are in blockbuster films, blockbuster like TV shows, classics, like that Martin level, like past that kind of stuff, you know what I'm saying? So those are my goals. That's where I see myself. I don't see myself, and actually I'm not even going to say any names because I don't want to slight anyone, but those are my goals. That's where honestly, that's where I see myself in the next 5 years. I see myself on that, on that trajectory, going, being on those TV shows, being on those, in those blockbuster movies, whether they're main characters or not right now or in the next 5 years, I see myself going to that, past the next 5 years, or even if it happens quicker than later, I'm with that. I hope it does. But I would say that's definitely where I see myself in the next 5 years, and I think Talent Inc. can help me with that. I think Talent Inc. is somewhere where you find yourself. I mean, not necessarily find yourself, whatever, but like, find your gift. I think Talent Inc. is somewhere where you get an opportunity to showcase your talents, showcase who you are, showcase your personality, because that's what acting is. You're bringing out that weirdness, or that personality that you scared to show everyone just from like judgment or something like that, or whatever, maybe I would say. But Talent Inc. is, you're surrounded by so many talented people from like all over the world, from the UK, all over the US, and wherever, and you just see all these people, and it just makes you want to be the best. It literally makes you want to. Honestly, when I first got there, or when I first seen the people how talented they were, I was like question. I'm like, wow, I really got invited to this. Like I really got invited to this. But when I got there and I seen how talented everyone was, it just made me feel like, wow, I'm really talented. Like to actually get it, like to actually get invited to something where a small number of people are who are so good at their respective crafts out of thousands and thousands and thousands of auditions like all year. Like it just made me feel so um it made me feel good like about myself. I just I felt so much gratitude. I felt so grateful to even be in the presence of some of the people that I was in, because like this is a creative space with no judgment. It's a creative space where nobody is putting you down. You know, we don't even know each other from a can of paint. We all meet each other for that whole week or weekend or whatever, and this is all love. Like it's all positivity, it's all love, it's all helping each other, and that's what Talent Inc. is. Like that's why I would never, you know, I always tell people who are interested in, you know, singing, acting, you know, want to do commercials, modeling, or whatever. Always tell them about my experience at Talent Inc. Just because like I had such a great time. I had such a great time, and that's where I met my agency. I remember after I did my audition in person, you know, I was thinking, I was like, man, I did terrible. I mean, I just know I did terrible. You know, being an artist, you always have that feeling about yourself, like, man, I could have did better. I could have did this better. I could have did that better. You know, I wish I would have did this. I wish I would have said that. I wish I would have acted this way, or I wish I would have. You know, that self critique, and that's good. You know, that's good. You know, it keeps you on your toes. You know, it keeps you humble. Um, so I would say, you know, just that's what Talent Inc. is, though. You know, it was just so much love, man. It was so much love, and like I said, I tell people about it all the time. And would I do it again though? Um, I don't think I would do it again. I don't think I would do it again. But I decided to go there because I knew it would help me. I knew it would. I knew that I can be signed there. I knew it would help me get to where I needed to go. As far as now, I knew it would give me the auditions now that I probably wouldn't have got on my own if I didn't go. So I would say Talent Inc. helped me a lot. Like I was about to say, uh, I didn't even think that I did that well in my audition and my in person audition, and I didn't think I was going to get signed. I did not think I was going to get signed. And when I seen how many agents wanted to talk to me after that, it was like 7 or 8. I I felt so much gratitude. Like I just was like, wow, y'all want to talk to me? Like I really did that well. So, and there was one modeling agency who wanted to talk to 2 people out of everybody who was there. They wanted to talk to 2 people, and I was one of the 2 people. And uh, fortunately, things didn't work out with that for whatever reason. I'm not sure. You know, like I said earlier, what's for you is gonna be for you, though. But even within that, you know, just being one of the 2 people, it just made me feel really good, because it's like, okay, I have something. Those are signs that I take that, okay, like, you know, I have something. This may not be the right company, but I know I'm going on the right trajectory. I know I'm going to the right place. I know I'm doing the right thing. So, you know, just stay steadfast, keep your head down, you know, just keep working. You'll get where you want to go. And honestly, you know, modeling is not something that, you know, you know, um, it's something that I'm open to, but it's not something that I necessarily went to Talent Inc. trying to pursue. My main goal was just to act. I think after uh, after that, my mind became more open to it. You know, hearing compliments from people like, "Oh, you should do it," like, you know, you whatever, like, you know. So, you know, I've been more open to that. But but yeah, that's why I decided to go. Um, I definitely got what I wanted out of it. My main goal. I remember before I went, June 2nd, June 2nd of that year, I went in August, but in June 2nd of that same summer, I put on my my book, get signed by agency, we'll go down there, do good, and and some other stuff or whatever, and get signed. And after I get signed, audition for such and such, get role or whatever. Some stuff I checked off or whatever. The most stuff I checked off on that book. Some stuff I haven't, but just gotta keep working. It'll happen. Like I said, it'll happen. Like I'm not really, butthurt or anything like that or whatever. But I, like I said, I recommend Talent Inc. Especially for those who are starting out. You can definitely get a start there, and it can lead you to the right direction. I think my greatest moment so far, or there, or in my career, or even there, I would say, was the roles that I actually did book. The roles that I did book, I have booked a couple of roles so far. It's so funny how none of them stuck. But that goes back to what I keep saying, like what's for you is gonna be for you, right? I got booked for a movie, and something like what production happened or whatever. Still to this day, I'm not sure, whatever, right? Maybe budget cuts or whatever. I remember I was about to go to set, or I'm sorry, I actually just got done doing one of my scenes. And we all got like emails or something like that or whatever. People was like in the dressing room, they was like, yeah, check your emails. And we checking our emails, and they saying, oh yeah, for such and such reason, movie has been postponed or shut down or whatever. And we was just like, huh? Like, what? Like, it was just so weird, because we just like, we all flew from such and such places, we drove from such and such places. So it's just like, it just was weird, because I didn't know that stuff like that actually happens. I didn't know stuff like that happens. And yeah, it just was weird. And I booked a role for this. I booked a role for this TV show that comes on Hulu. Actually, it's actually out right now. I'm not gonna say the name because I don't want to throw dirt on on the show, whatever. It's actually a great show. But so I booked a role for that show. I booked to be a store clerk, and they cut the role. Like, I'm packing my bags or whatever, about to get ready to head out, and they cut the role. So what I'm saying, like, those are also my greatest moments so far in my career, because those were roles that I booked, but also at the same time, I didn't get to appear on those, said projects. And that's fine, because, I'll get my chance, and I, I'm still actively actually doing something right now. So, but, you want as much exposure as you can. So, but, that's been my career so far, and I love it. It is what it is. You want it to be better. You want everything that you can. You want to book everything that you can, that you audition for, or whatever. But the reality of it is that's not gonna happen. It just ain't gonna happen. So, it is what it is, and that's been my career so far. It's been my journey, and I would say, just stay prayed up. Like I said, just stay faithful. And just know that whatever's for you is gonna be for you, and it is what it is. So,